we're going to be metrifying this sketch today from Erin Jacobson, and these are the photos that we're going to be using. Obviously they're very dark, but there's lots of strong colours, and what I want to do really is evoke that feeling that we had while we were there, which was of a real fun, happy, calm family time together. So with those sorts of words in mind, I'm thinking the new Moonlit Flora paper is going to be perfect, because we've got that berry burst colour, which I think should work quite nicely for this very purple photo. And then we've got a couple of photos that are more golden toned. So I'm thinking those two stronger colours work quite nicely, and obviously the setting where we took the photos is all botanical gardens, so it's really perfect match. So in the sketch we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different papers we want. Being that it's going to be in a frame style, I don't think we want a large print. Leaves us with these. So that's probably still too big. That's probably still too geometric. That one I think would work. And then we've got these 3. I do want to use one of the papers with each of the gold and the pink. We've got these decorative card pieces. They probably could stand for a bigger print. So how about if we do this one as the frame with this one as the card pieces? That would be like that. And then we just pop, oh gosh, look how nice the gold is looking even in that picture. Yeah, I think I'm decided on these 3. I'm not as sure on these, because I do think that it might be that you just end up using cardstock, at least maybe for the thin strip. So I know my measurements. So I know that my A4 piece of paper ends at 21. So if I want photos, so the widest I've got is these 2 squares. So that's going to go to 21. We can't have a super wide border, but we can probably have wider than I would normally do. I can do a 2 centimetre wide border, which would look more like that, which is actually quite substantial, especially if we've got the 2 coming down the middle as well. I'm excited about this. This is actually my favourite paper in this paper pack. I don't like florals, but like the florals are really restrained and they feel like they're supposed to be there. It's not just flowers for flowers' sake. So I definitely don't want to waste this paper. So what I'm going to do is I am going to gut out the middle of this. I'll show you how I do that for 2 centimetres. Although obviously if the border is going to be 2 centimetres, I need to leave it wider than 2 centimetres. So I'll probably do 2.5, and then I'll bring my cutting blade up and I'm just going to put that at 2.5. Right, so this should be there or thereabouts, just able to fall out as demonstrated. And then we've got 1 frame, and I'm going to do the other one, but I'll do that off camera. So I've stuck this one down, but I just thought I would talk to you about putting this one down. So because I've only done a 5mm overlap, because I wanted to save this paper, I'm actually going to use liquid glue around the outside instead of using a tape runner, because tape runner runs more like a centimetre than it's bigger. And then liquid glue enables you to slide it around a bit. You know, my favourite slidability. So I'm guessing we're going about here. I can see on my ruler where the 2 centimetre marker is. But going this way, I need to move over a few millimetres. So because I've got the glue, I can just push it a bit more, I would say. How's that looking now? Oh, that's pretty much bang on at the bottom. Not quite straight, but we can just eke that over. And then that will stick down, and that's so much less stress than trying to use a tape runner. If we bring the photos back in, we're sort of looking at this and this. Because I have less space to play with in the widthways. I'm going to move this photo over to line it up on this side, I think. We've got this stripe to do through here. I've cut these pieces out and these pieces, I haven't stuck them down yet. I've also mounted the two photos onto the Golden Glow, which reflects how Erin had done her layout. I inked up the edges of all of these pieces, but not the photos, because I was thinking about contrast. And if you ink these photos with a dark ink, it's already against the dark background and you'd actually be blending the contrast. So I inked these two photos that I put onto the lighter, and then I have inked the edges of all the coloured pieces that I put on top. I had the Mossy Meadow out, but I just felt it didn't tone in as well. I think it's a little bit more eye-catching, and I wanted this to be more toned down. Prior Kerry had actually ordered the ink pads that go with this paper set, and the two new colours, the Golden Glow and the Peaceful Pine, they're in the new stamp pads that are magnetic, so you can see them sticking to each other, and when you open them they come apart. You can stick them together like that. You can also stick them together like that, so you can use that. It's a lot less faff than the traditional stamping pad format, where you have to, I mean, I find it sometimes even difficult to open, and then it slides and then you have to do the whole thing in reverse, and I'm afraid I'm gonna get ink on myself there. I've been thinking about the title and the journaling. The journaling per the sketch goes here, and it has that cool little clip on that I did want to use, but I also got thinking that maybe I wanted to put the journaling on vellum. I just thought it would stop you covering up another chunk of this paper, and this paper has got that Golden Glow colour in, and I wanted to not lose that, because that's part of the accent colours. But I think I can't really clip it if I'm going to use vellum, but I might just put the clips on these two pieces. That one already had a paper clip, so it would sort of make sense to have a different clip on this one. I'm going to make some little coffee cups or hot chocolate, like take-out hot chocolate cups, because every year when we go to this, part of the ticket is that you get a free hot drink at the end, and so we always have a hot chocolate at the end. Cut out these pieces of coffee cup from my silhouette, and I've made 3 of differing sizes, which is always a good trick when you are doing embellishment clusters, to have the same kind of thing in different sizes. So I'm just going to put them together now. I thought it made sense to do some foliage in the sketch. It's flowers, and we've got 1, 2, 3, and I think I can probably mimic that quite well. We can go here and here and here. I am going to get the journaling, which I did print out, but I didn't do anything with it because I wanted to make sure it was really dry, because when you print on vellum it takes quite a long time to dry. So that's going to go in there. So I'm going to cut it out on my trimmer, and then I'm going to rip down this edge and then see if I also want to rip the top and the bottom. I'm going to give myself some space. I've also got this, the new In Colour pearlized specialty paper, which means I've got pearlized Golden Glow and Peaceful Pine. So this is the Golden Glow, and in here somewhere there is the Peaceful Pine. So I'm thinking I definitely will cut some sprigs out with them, and I'll probably look at using the new fern dies because they go with this pack. So on a recent video where I did the beach layout, I tore the two-tone cardstock to get the effect of like sand on the beach. And I talked about which effect you get depends on the direction that you tear it. So on that occasion, I didn't want the white core to show, so I tore it away. On this occasion, I think I do want it to have more of the brightness showing, because I think that will help contrast against the paper that it's overlaying. So I'm going to tear it towards, which means if I go this way, I can tear it upwards, and we should then get, you can see we get the ripped edge. Now, I might well decide this isn't close enough to the text, but you can always take off more, you can't add. I think I do want to tear top and the bottom as well, and I need to try and tear them pretty close to the text, because what I want to do is I'm going to tuck this under, and that's where we will glue, because if you put glue on vellum, you can see it usually. So if you can tuck it under, then the glue isn't in sight. I get my spatula and just run down the back. That way we can be sure. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to squirt glue in under there the whole way down, and then we can just push the vellum in and it should stick. And then if we put a bit of vellum on the top, a bit of glue on the top of the vellum even, then that will stick to the back of the photo mat. Here we go, slidey slide. Try and get it so we haven't got it sticking out from the top or bottom. Now I'm going to cut out some pieces from this Fern and Flora dies using that specialty paper, and I think I'm going to cut some in vellum as well. So I've been preparing my embellishments. I had a bit of an incident with my silhouette, so at the moment I can't actually cut the title out, but I have got everything else prepared, I think. So I've made like a little clipboard holder that's going to go here, and then I do want to cut some paper clips out on my silhouette, but I had to die for these little ones, so I thought I might put one of those in there just for now. Then I've cut a little tag and put a bow on that that's going to go there, and then I have this circle that is going to be the foundation for the embellishment cluster that's here. So I put the title down so we know what space we've got to work with, and then beyond that I've got my coffee cups, and I've cut out a bunch of the ferns. I found that I had this paper, it's a bit thinner than these, but I thought it was quite a good match for the berry burst, so I've cut some in that. And then I've also cut some in vellum as well, so we've got lots of options to play with. If we put our biggest coffee cup in there, and then we've got the medium-sized one and the tiny one, so I think the medium-sized one probably goes there, and the little baby one gonna go here somewhere, maybe that side. Let's have a look up here, because these are going to want to be smaller, so I think that kind of feels like it could go in front, and then we could have that sticking out there, and then that's our 4 colours, isn't it? What about if we go for the shimmery green going that way? Need something else in there. And then here we definitely have space to have some longer things. One coming up. You want the green one? I'm obviously just mindful of the pink and the pink. Oh, so they're two the same then. Maybe we want this one from the green. And then we do this one in the gold. I feel like we could make that works quite nicely. I would layer them slightly differently, but I think I can see how to make that one work. Okay, so I'm gonna take a snap of this. Gonna have a look at what I want to stamp on here and possibly something on here, and then I'll come back and we'll see about taking some stuff down. Okay, so I've cut out a few more things. We're very nearly there. I had a die that made this really cute little pencil because I just thought there needed to be something that went with the kind of clipboard note-taking concept. So I decided to have a go at making this little pencil for the first time ever. It's super cute. I'll definitely be using it again. It's even got the silver and the rubber, which are the lunar luster and this berry burst colour. So I'm going to put this in something like that, I think, just fill that space up, and the yellow is the golden glow. And then I've been on my new silhouette and I've cut out some paper clips and also the title in a white glitter. So I'm just going to put one of the paper clips over here, which is how it is in the sketch, but I'm going to do it the other way up because that looks upside down to me. But I just want to lift this up a little bit to make sure we can push the paper clip down deep enough. I don't know how deep I want it to go, but I know that if I didn't do that, then I would find that it wasn't going down far enough. Come in with this little paper clip and we'll put that bit under and that bit over. I think that looks nice. Oh, just need to hold that for a minute while it sticks. And then we've got the title. So because my silhouette wasn't working, I just printed it out on printer paper to make sure it fit. And I like the way the two words are kind of slightly linking into each other. So I want to make sure that I do the same. So what I'm thinking is I get my ruler and then we can use the ruler to mark where we want the base of the letters for festive to go. And I think basically if we just start at the right, and the nice thing about using cursive script in the silhouette is I managed to join everything together apart from the first capital letters. So I even managed to get the dots of the eyes to be attached, which just makes it a lot less faff. Right, there we go. And then let's have a look if we've got any sparkly gems. And these ones, I keep using these with the nature walk because they go nicely. And then that's like an old olive, that's a bit too bright. What about these kind of holographic-y ones? They're not bad, are they? Maybe we'll do these. We'll pick these up, let you have a look. If you can see the glimmer paper and the, so that's the gold there and the white glitter, and there's the silver of the lunar luster. And then similarly on this side we've got gems, we've got glimmer paper, we've got the lunar luster, and that's it. Dark paper, dark photos. I didn't fight it, I leaned in. The shimmer card, that's the bit that really makes me smile. The bright pops of light in the dark evening. That's literally what the Christmas lights look like, yeah? If you've got dark photos you've been avoiding, don't. They're not a problem, they're actually a gift. Come join the gang, we do this kind of thing every Friday. Speaking of which, next week, wrong colour cheer uniforms. Yep, you heard me right. Thanks for watching, bye!